Welcome to the latest edition of Altrincham Talks, the business edit powered by Altrincham Bid, where we interview local business owners and entrepreneurs on their journey and what makes Altrincham the place to be. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Sarah Fogg, founder and managing director of the highly successful Browse by Sarah, based on Oxford Road here in Altrincham.
Yes.
I believe you've got another salon in London in a fairly prominent place.
Kind of. It's all right, I suppose. Varley Street would just open up on us all, so that's very exciting.
Amazing. Well, I'm delighted to have you here, Sarah, and to learn a little bit more about you and how you came to have Browse by Sarah. So tell me about your business, first of all. It sort of sounds as if it does what it says on the tin.
Yes.
But tell me how you started and what exactly you do there.
So there's actually a few different companies that we kind of do a lot of different things to do with Browse.
Yeah.
The first one, where it all started, is Browse by Sarah, where we are a semi-permanent makeup clinic and we specialise in the most natural form of permanent makeup. I feel as though in this day and age, everybody wants to look perfect, but doesn't necessarily look like they want to be done up. And when I trained 8 years ago now, I just saw a gap in the market. I just thought, I'm going to become... In fact, I remember coming home to my husband and saying, I'm literally going to become the best at the best at the most natural brow possible. And I did. I practiced until I literally could no more. I bought different types of pigments, different types of needles, and just worked until I just became the best and achieved this realistic eyebrow. Yeah. So when I started, I was on my own. I literally started in a room in our old apartment. Right. I just had a little girl. She was 6 months old at the time, Ilaria, and I was just stressed with taking on another overhead because I had not worked. I used to be a model before, and I'd not worked for 9 months, and I wouldn't say we were broke, but I'd say we were feeling the pinch, and I was stressed about taking on another building, another outgoing. So I transformed one of the rooms in my spare room. Now, honestly, that lasted all of around 6 months because it just got so busy so fast. So then I started with a room in Hale on Broomfield Lane, and I stayed there for around 3 years, again on my own, just working, being a nice person, doing a good job, being grateful to my clients. And then I started a training academy because as I was becoming more known in the industry, people were then messaging me saying, look, how can I learn how to do this? Can you teach me how to do this? I've never seen a brows like it before. So I thought, right, okay, the next step. So I then became a VTCT teacher. When I finished in the day in the clinic, I would then go home and did a teaching course, so I could then teach people.
So these are formal qualifications?
Oh, yeah. It's all accredited. I'm accredited with the #1 insurance agency in the UK for all beauty, anything related, ABT. So it's all above board, teaching qualification. So I did that, and then I wrote a manual, again, after work with a 2-3-year-old. And then I started Alpha Academy. Now, as I started Alpha Academy, because this was around lockdown, so I already had a 6-month wait before lockdown. So I was coming out of lockdown with even more of a wait because we'd had not been able to do any face-to-face treatments. So then I employed somebody to come and help. And I taught her how to do eyebrows. Then there was 2 of us. So I started with the training academy, stayed at Broomfield Lane for another year or so, and we just got too busy. So then Oxford Road became available. Right. And I remember walking into Oxford Road and my husband saying, oh, Sarah, this is a big building because it's over full of 4 floors. Are you going to fill it? And I was like, don't worry, I'll fill it. I just knew that it would become... As soon as I walked in, I thought, this is home. I loved it. It's mad because even before I started doing eyebrows, I always thought, God, I'd love to have a business on this road. I just think it's the most beautiful road. It's such an affluent road.
You get a feeling, don't you?
Yeah,
when you
it's
walk
like
in
home
when
to me.
You walk into a house, sometimes you just go, this is the place.
Yeah, so it used to be a hairdresser, so it's completely different to how I wanted it, but I just knew. Anyway, we did it up, and then I carefully selected a few more staff members and then mentored them to be up to my standard because I just didn't want anybody coming into this brand that was so close to my heart that I'd built. So I was very fussy, very picky, and it paid off.
I noticed on your website the other staff that you've got working with it. They all in the bios. They all say trained by Sarah.
Yeah. None of them actually did brows before I trained them, and I feel as though that was a good thing because they can't pick up other people's habits. I'm not saying other people's habits are wrong, but they're not mine. And if people are coming to have a treatment done at Brows by Sarah, they'd expect it to be up to my standard and my way. So even now I still mentor them and train them. So at the moment we've got 5 working underneath me. All fully booked for weeks as well. The great girls, it's like family. I would say that's one of the biggest things for this year. The staff that I've accumulated, I've seen the business go from strength to strength to strength. I thought I was doing good last year, but this year, because of the team that I've built, it's literally grown so much.
Really? So you've got the brows, you've got the
training academy. Then as we did that, then we opened a product line.
Right.
I say we, I mean me. It's just a thing that I do. I'd we own this. No, I mean it's just me laying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning with going ding an idea, and then I get up and write it on my phone. And then so basically what I wanted to do with the product line, I wanted to start a product line, because obviously I'm telling people, go and get this product, go and get this, go and get something that makes your eyebrows grow, go and get an eyebrow pencil, go and get a gel that colours your hairs. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my own, and I'm going to make all these products in one. So I went to it's all EU manufactured, it's all vegan, cruelty free. I was working with a lab in Germany, and I just said to them, I want it to make the eyebrows grow, I want it to add colour, and I want it to make the eyebrows stay in place as well, because I feel as though we all want to put makeup. If you care about your eyebrows, you're going to want to put makeup on in the morning. But then if you also want your eyebrows to grow, and it's actually a thing, because as we get older, unfortunately, as women, we lose our hair, and it happens on our eyebrows. Oh, really?
Well. Yeah.
I mean, I can give you a wow brow if you want.
Okay, maybe later.
And so I basically came up with this product. It was a lot, alongside doing everything else, because it's all been me. I've got 2 PAs, but it's all me and my idea and my brain. And then I did it, and I made it, and it won me with so many awards, and Best Brow Product Woman, and it was in Vogue a few months ago. Amazing. Yeah, I landed on holiday, a much needed holiday, to a campaign invitation from Vogue.
Brilliant.
And I was just like, I actually thought I had to check it was fake, because it's my brand that I designed.
And is the brand Brows by Sarah on?
Yeah. It's all everything's Brows by Sarah.
Right.
So that again, it's another thing.
So I as a bloke, I know nothing about brows, obviously. But are they? And you say they're semi-permanent. So how often would somebody come back to you? What's the kind of return?
So you come as your first appointment. You come, and it's split into 2 treatments. So during your first appointment, we will find out what you'd like to achieve from the appointment. So a lot of people just say, I like my brows. I've lost the definition. I want the gaps filling. So then we'll pre-draw. So we can see exactly how they're going to look. And then the client can then tweak to their personal preference. So if they want them a little bit thicker, a little bit thinner, then we will then do that for them. And we won't go ahead until they're completely happy with the shape that we provided. And then we will dust in the pigment. So it's a tiny micro needle. And we airbrush pigment into the top 2 layers of the skin. So I say with a real tattoo, it goes through every single layer of the epidermis, the dermis, and it's designed to stay there. Whereas with us, it's not designed. It's a pigment that's a little bit more expensive. It's designed to fade over time, and because we're only going into the top 2 layers of the skin, it will not last over 3 years. Right. So I recommend an annual top up. So you come back once a year to keep them perfect. So after a year, you might have faded slightly. You've got a little bit more brave, and you're like, do you know what? I've got used to these. Can we go a little bit thicker? Can we go a bit darker? And it gets to like the 3rd year, and then everyone's like, thicker and darker, darker. And I'm like, no. Because again, you get used to seeing things on your face, and I feel as though as an expert, you've got to listen to what. I suppose
your first year in trading was all about finding new clients. And then after that, you started.
So imagine I've done this for 8 years. I find it hard to get new clients in these days, because I've got like a 95% return rate, which is amazing. But I call it fresh meat. I can't get the fresh meat in. I love a brand new eyebrow. So that's why I trade the girls, so we can get all these new clients in. And we're lucky enough now that we're getting new clients through the door all the time, which I'm very grateful for. But if I didn't have the girls, then I'd have to turn people away.
And how much of your time is still spent actually working with clients on their brows?
5 days a week.
So when do you do the working on the business part?
I want to finish work on Mondays. I have Mondays to myself, apart from when I'm here with you.
Yeah. Pretty good.
We'll do a business plan when we're finished. It's all right.
And if you want,
we'll do some brainstorming. And then, but from next month, I am cutting down to 4 days. 4 days a week. The thing is, I still love it. Like, so if I'm at home, yeah, I can do a few hours work. I have got 2 very good PAs. One works from home and then one works as a clinic manager. Since she started, I feel as though my workload has softened. Yeah. And so if I am at home on a Saturday and my little girl's in Stagecoach or whatever, I'm just like, what do I do? I'd rather be doing something that I love. And it'll get to like 5 o'clock and I'll have blinked and I'm like, wow, like we've done a full day. Because to me, it's not work. Yeah, where's it gone? So I'm not ready to, as much as, the thing is with me, I've delegated. And this is something that I learned like in the past 2 years. I know what I'm very good at. And I know that I've hired 2 very good people that are great PAs. So I can then delegate to them what they need to do to help the businesses run smoothly. So one of them will work on More Alpha Academy and the brand, and then Sam will work on the products, liaising with suppliers, etc., and obviously running the clinic. So I mean,
so you mentioned that Harley Street's opened quite recently.
Yeah.
How are you managing that? Because
that's why next month I'm going down to 4 days, so I can do one every other week in Harley Street.
Right. So have you got is that you're just?
Yeah. So we're running, and we're going to get some London. I take the girls down. We're in the middle. Obviously every day that I'm there, it's fully booked. Yeah. Which is fantastic. I thought, oh God, I was a bit scared, because I thought we dominate the area at the moment, which is great, but this is 8 years in the making. Yeah. Luckily, social media has a massive impact on this because anybody can see you. And because of the celebrities that I do, I feel as though it gives me more of an outreach than the standard
Yeah, would you say the celebrities and the influencers have had a real impact on the rest of the business as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it helps. People follow celebrities, they're interested in celebrities, it's a normal thing. But I'd say it is a good 50. I mean, it is great for the celebrities, but a lot of it is, you've got to remember that the eyebrows are the most exposed, the face is the most exposed part of the body. Yeah. So you see someone's, as a woman, we're like, oh, what have you had done, And you see someone's eyebrows, you're like, oh my God, and there's like a brows are around the corner, and that's it. So it is a lot of recommendation, but it's also a recommendation from the celebrities because, so it is just all like a domino effect.
One talks to another talks
Exactly,
to another.
Because that's what women do best.
Yeah. So have you found that being in Altrincham has been good from that respect in terms of, because you're in a relatively affluent area in Ports?
Yeah, I grew up in North Manchester. And to me, I feel like I'm on holiday still sometimes in Altrincham. I absolutely love Altrincham. It just, even the sense of community, like the way that you all work together, like Christmas time, it just, even all the restaurants, like we're so close with like the guys at California Coffee and even the wedding shop next door, like they're just all so lovely, and it's just a real sense of community. It's like you're a big family. All the business owners are like family, and it's just, honestly, I love it. I've just renewed the lease for another 7 years. I'm that happy to be here.
Brilliant.
So yeah, obviously Harley Street is exciting, but this is my home and I'm never going to leave here.
So what do you think is next for Brows by Sarah then? World domination?
Yeah, taking over the world one brow at a time.
Is it? That's a great start.
I know!
Is it going to be an extension of the salons, or is it going to be extending the product line, do you think?
I mean, a bit of everything. I think everything has grown so organically up to now, then if it carries on doing this, then we might have to get another location. We might even have to just get a separate training location because the girls are just getting busier. Yeah. So what happened with me over the years is now happening with the girls. So it is going to get to a point where, well, how we're going to get new clients in. So unless we get another location or we just do a training location, I don't know. I'm just enjoying the ride. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it.
There's a lot of people do what you do.
Yeah.
There's you see a lot of businesses out there around the Northwest in particular who, are either offering brows or other kinds of makeup and aesthetics. What advice would you offer to them, and what sets you apart, do you think, in an industry where there's quite a lot of people doing it? Because you've been hugely successful. What makes you? Yeah,
I mean, if they are struggling with the technique, they can always come do a masterclass with me. I don't know. What I say to my staff, and I say this to my students when I'm teaching, like, be a nice person, get back to people, treat everybody the same, and listen to what your client wants. Our idea of perfection might be different to them, and at the end of the day, I say this to my clients. I see you once a year. You look at yourself in the mirror every single day. So people come to me and they're like, "Oh, I've had my brows done somewhere else," and she just doesn't listen to me. And I say, "Right, tell me what you want to achieve," because there's so many people that don't listen, and that's why they're not getting the return clientele. They're not getting back to people. They're doing one brow a day and thinking, okay, that's good, and then not getting back to people. And it's a lot of money for a treatment for somebody to completely ignore you for weeks. So the treatment is over 2 appointments. Yep. There are a lot of people that come to me and say, "Oh, I went and then I couldn't get back in for my perfecting top up." To me, that's crazy. As you finish your first appointment with us, every single appointment thereafter will be booked in before you leave. Your aftercare is sent on the same time. So then even if you have got questions, it's sent to you via text message. You can read it. I just don't understand how these people can do a treatment and then just disappear into thin air when someone's paid a lot of money, and it's something they've never had done before. And it is quite nerve-wracking because it is a healing process that you go through. So when you first leave, your brows are going to be darker because we are implanting pigment into the skin, and then the brows have got to flake. Now, during the treatment, I explain this to the clients, but a lot of people don't do that. So my advice would to be, obviously, be a nice person, treat everybody exactly the same, listen to what your client wants, and follow up with them regularly. If they've got questions regarding aftercare, then get back to them, because they're going to come back to you. And give them everything they need as they're leaving, so they don't have to get back in touch, because everyone's busy. And nobody's got time to be ringing up. And then, I just
Customer experience is so important, isn't it? And plus the other thing that you said earlier on, which is practice and practice and practice and practice until you're as good as you can possibly be, and then carry on learning. Yeah,
and sometimes if someone tells you something and you think, actually, I'm going to try this a different way, then you can do that, because it's not written. You've chosen to be an artist. Use your artist eye and try it out. Obviously not on someone's face for the first time, but we've got practice skin. You can different types of fruit can act as different types of skin. Yeah, so say for instance, with my students I say overripe banana is older and more mature skin because it's softer. No, it's really true. No, you are not overripe banana. A green banana is younger skin,
right?
And then we could do like a satsuma for like pore texture. Right, but it's good to get the needle going over those different types. I just practice and put yourself out of your comfort zone. This is a cheesy line, but I say it all the time. Nothing great ever came from comfort zones, and it doesn't. You've got to put yourself out there. The amount of times that I've had imposter syndrome, starting my own product line, who do I think I am? And there's a lot of people that will judge you for things like this because they don't understand why you would do that. But yeah, my advice would be just don't care what anyone else thinks. You do you, and just keep being persistent and doing the best you can.
Well, you don't have to be great to start, but you've got to practice.
I say it to my students, I'm going to give you everything you need, but if you don't pick up your needle for another 2 weeks after training, it's going to go. So I say you've got to practice every single day. Get your pen out. You have.
So as a business owner and the managing director, what's your biggest focus at the moment for the business?
Well, the clinic's doing amazing. We are expanding on a few more treatments at the clinic. We've got Jordana, one of my lead artists, she's going into medical tattooing, so scar camouflage, areola, which is great. So we're going into different types of body as well. And I'd like to get the product line out there a little bit more. Obviously, Vogue was massive for me, but now I've got the itch and the taste for something. Speaking to really good suppliers at the moment, distributors. So I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to enjoy the ride, keep doing me, and see what comes next.
Interesting. So the product line itself, is that just available on your online shop?
On my online shop, in the clinic and on Amazon Prime as well.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
if you could give yourself one piece of advice from before you started the business, when you were maybe just coming to the end of your modelling career and you were thinking about starting a business, what would be the one piece of advice you'd give to your younger self?
Stop caring what other people think. Literally, you do you. Somebody's always going to have an opinion. Someone's always going to not like you for something. So as long as you're enjoying it and you're having a great time and you're doing the best you can, then nothing else matters.
Did you get negative sort of comments from people when you were setting out?
Oh, well, gosh, yeah. Actually, we did have a really, really... I think it was one of the local magazines, and we had a launch. Did you remember this? Did you see it?
No.
And there was pictures of me and the girls stood outside, and it just said, the headline was influencers attend launch. But they thought the way that the paper had written it, they thought that we were the influencers.
Right, okay.
So it was like...
Actually, I do remember.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And it was like, more Botox than, I've never seen so much bad Botox in my life. Like, half of the girls are mixed race that work for me, they've never had Botox. They're just stunningly beautiful. I've never heard of these influencers. I bet she can't wait for the next lockdown. And I was like, oh my goodness, really? A young woman gone out of a comfort zone, opened a clinic, that massive clinic on Oxford Road. That's the London location. I'm joking. And you've got nothing but negative things to say. If you can't say something nice, don't say it. I hate trolls. I hate them. So yeah, it is what it is.
Positivity in the world anyway.
Oh my gosh, so much. And see, it was in the end, we were just screenshotting it and sending each other having a laugh, because look at us now.
Yeah.
Look at us now.
Jealousy is the best performer.
Exactly. So yeah, that would be it. Do not care what other people think. Do you have fun and become the best at what you can, and learn a high income skill, become the best at it. That's it.
So you've got a team of great women who work with you, and the vast majority of your customers, I assume, are women. Do you have some guys who come in as well?
Yeah, we do. We have a few gentlemen. Jordana also does scalp pigmentation as well,
right, okay.
Which is for if someone has lost a bit of hair, like we were saying before, it can mimic the scalp. So yeah, a few brows, a few scalp. It is more women, and the salon is very pink and very flowery, and yeah, you've got to be a very strong man to come into the clinic. Even my husband runs in and runs out the back door in seconds.
So obviously you've built a great team.
Yeah.
You know, you're working with a bunch of women in your business as well. So how do you empower them to be the best they possibly can be?
You know, it's crazy because as I said before, they came to me and they all came with a different story. Yeah. And they hadn't done any brow treatments or anything like that before. And it was kind of me that saw potential in them, was like, would you like me to teach you? 2 of them came as PAs at first, so just to help me. But then I saw them watching me work and seeing how they have grown into, they've had babies in between, they've moved houses, they've grown into the most amazing artists. Every single one of them are like family now. And it makes me proud that these women have just taken it on, and some of them, like, they've not really had that much experience with timings and stuff, because we have brow bar. So brow bar as well is like waxing, tinting, lamination. Right, okay. So a few of them do that as well. Yeah, but it's very fast paced.
Right. I have no idea what all that means.
Okay, so
you don't need to explain it. But I don't know.
Are you sure?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody out there who's watching and listening will know exactly
what a lamination is. But it was very fast paced, and they literally grabbed it by the horns. And it's great just coming into work, seeing how amazing they're all doing, how happy the clients are when we get good reviews from them. It's great.
Brilliant. So what's next for you then, personally?
I don't know. Taking a day off, and then trying to take over London, probably.
And do you see other salons opening?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it might be another location for the training academy, because the clinic is Brows by Sarah, and I'm not leaving there anytime soon. But yeah, we're definitely going to expand. That's definitely in the eye line. Is that what we call it?
Yeah.
So yeah, just going to run it out.
I suppose with the training academy as well, you can pick and choose the best graduates of the training academy for future staff.
Exactly. I've already got my eye on a few. But yeah, it's great. It's great. I love meeting all the women. I love even the students as well as clients. Like, it's just lovely watching them grow into an artist in the 4 days, and now and giving them a new lease of life. I love training people as much as I love doing the treatment. So yeah, it's definitely the right choice. Definitely the right life choice for me.
Brilliant. So if people want to get in touch with you or want to get in touch with the salon,
Yeah.
What's the best way to go about doing that?
Instagram, Browse by Sarah, or the contact numbers on the website. Best thing is go on the website. You can email, you can call, you can Instagram, anything like that. We are fully contactable. Or call in the clinic. Brilliant. Sam would love to see you.
Okay. So we just Google Browse by Sarah.
Just to, it'll come up top.
Top of the Google search results. Sarah, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. It's been brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.